Good morning, good morning. Happy Friday. Hope everyone's having a great morning and a great trading session so far. We just opened a few minutes ago. $682. About 2 more minutes and then I'm clear to trade. Kind of an uneventful open so far. Just looking at the time-based chart. News on the session, we got 8:45 low impact news, and that is it. Good morning, Trenches. How are you this morning? Hopefully I can end this little red streak I'm on. We'll see. Good morning, Amelia. How are you this morning? I'm tired. I don't remember what time I went to sleep, but I know I fell asleep. I didn't turn any of my fans on. I didn't have my eye mask on. I wasn't even under the covers, baby. I was tired. Clearly. I was tired. Traded last night, so today is a mid trading day. You don't really like Fridays, though, right? Should buy while I'm at the pit. I bet the follow through happens. Sure enough, nicer enough. Mm-mm-mm. Did that save? Okay, it did. I could have got into that. You got tennis elbow? Ooh. You traded at 2 a.m. because you couldn't sleep? Oh no. Have you tried putting a heating pad on it? I know a lot of people like ice and stuff, but for me, unless it's something that like I have swelling with, I prefer heat to relax it. Have you tried that? I had tennis elbow, I think only maybe like twice. And one of the times it was because I actually was playing tennis a lot. Me and my family, we used to go to my old high school, and like it was a couple of summers where we would just go and play tennis. We were learning and stuff. And then the other time that I've gotten it was when my carpal tunnel was so bad it just was affecting like the whole nerve going down into my elbow. It was the worst. Oh my gosh. It was so bad. You see. Uh, oh, glad I didn't get into it. Mm. Try some heat. I've had it once before. This time it's worse. Is it from you lifting? Yes, ma'am, Amelia. Yes, ma'am. It looks like that's the only news today. Well, at least on Forex Factor it is. All right, I'm gonna just wait until news pops off. Okay, perfect. Yep, from lifting. Do you think you're going too heavy on your weights? Or possibly you've been changing your form because you've been going heavier on weights? I'm getting a sty on my eye and it's so bothersome. Actually, while I wait on news, let me warm up a towel and put it on my eye. All right, I'm back. You for sure been going heavier. Yeah, you probably might want to go back down just a little bit, not too much. Just back wherever you were before you started having the pain. I'm gonna have to hot pack my eye a couple times today to see if I can get it to go down. Well, unfortunately, I already see the head on it. It's like literally right under my eyelid. And so it's like bothering my eye when I'm blinking stuff. But hopefully, hot packing it, I can make it go down before it gets too big. This is the eye I had MRSA in, the methicillin resistant bacteria. But this was like probably 12 years ago. I think I might have had a sty on this eye maybe once or twice, but it usually comes on this eye only. And it hurts pretty bad. Oh, I don't like that initial rejection of that. All right. A bench, but I'm going back down to. She can't do the pull ups and curls. Makes sense. Not lazy traders. Don't do them like that. Maybe they taking a day off, girl. You are silly. Yeah, just take it easy until that inflammation goes down. You definitely don't want to make it worse. If I can somehow figure out like the no interest reversals typically start a bigger reversal, like the longer term. I don't want to say long term trend because obviously I am still scalping, but it usually like will pull back but keep going like it just did here. So I got my 7 points out of it, 6.75 points out of it, but we went 136 ticks from my entry, 115 until the sell pressure line. Good morning, Diego. How are you this morning? I'm here watching the markets, waiting for a setup. Tell her. Very nice. Higher highs and now it's lower lows. Perfect for me if I was smart enough to. Girl, you mean if you just had a desire to get into the trade? Stop playing. Oh, goodness. Let's see. Oh. Even look, this is the same thing. The no interest reversal starts the bigger move. The other thing I have to figure out is if the zigzag matters. I don't really think it does, but I've been staying out of stuff if like the zigzag is opposite because I've always done that. But I don't really know if I have to. You probably woke her up with all that heavy stomping that you doing. Did she wake you up, Granny, or did that person who accidentally caught the house at 8:45 this morning wake you up? Oh, okay. I'm just making sure nobody woke my granny up. I'll trade today when you're green for the week. Exactly. Just did my first pay myself. Nice. Let's see what you can do in February. I love it. So are you going to like at the end of every month, whatever your profit is, like whatever profit you have, withdraw it and just always restart at 2K for the month? Or are you still trying to figure that part out? Oh my God, my eye. That moved too far. I could see how choppy we are. We've changed trends so many times today. Yeah. God, I'm in too many contracts. Oh, well, I guess I didn't get out on the Apex account on accident. I wanted to be in the trade. I just double clicked it on accident. But that worked out how I wanted it to. Oh, I missed that one. That's damn. It's like my favorite one to set up going with the trend, the no interest reversal. Damn it. Damn. Would I have? I wouldn't have gotten filled anyway. It doesn't matter. I almost hold myself. This bar has positive delta. And you see how we went up instead of going down. Almost hold myself. Thank you, thank you. That's what I did last year almost. I haven't decided what to do to pay myself. I got you. You'll probably figure it out by the end of next month or maybe March. What a move. How did... Okay, so on the Apex account, I guess one of the contracts did close for break even, but then the other one just didn't close and decided to do what it wanted to do. Oh my god, my eye is bothering me. Oh, I can close that. Look how we just perfectly switch trends and just boom. Reject. Reject. Like, we rejected immediately here, but we got out of it, rejected again, came back inside, switched, reject, reject. Like, what the hell? But right now, I still don't know how I want to like trade inside of there. So, yeah. Good morning, Brett. How are you this morning? Good morning, Applejacks. How are you this morning? Oh, good morning, New. How are you this morning? Sorry, I was off focus on the charts. This job has mentally exhausted me for weeks. It's your own fault for being so self critical. That's totally understandable. Sometimes being an overachiever can screw us big time. Big time. Me and my best friend were just talking about that last night. So she used to be a scientist, like the type of scientist where you do experiments on rats and stuff. And so for years now, she's been like a medical writer, where she has to, like, let's say that a pharmaceutical company is trying to either get a new drug approved, or let's say, because I don't think she does new drugs very often now with her experience. I think she more so, like, if they're trying to get a recertification for a drug, it's her responsibility to, like, look up a bunch of different, like, all, you got to try to gather all of the research data for that particular drug kind of thing. And so she got a new job more recently, and she was just telling me how, oh, damn, that was my trade right there. She was just telling me how with her new job, like, when she got there, they basically had a whole bunch of different projects that, no, there was one project that they wanted her to do to help somebody with, and she ended up doing it. It took a whole lot of her mental capacity. Well, because she did such a good job, they were like, okay, well, we have like these like 20 other ones kind of thing. And I was asking her, like, can these people not help you? But I don't understand. She's like, yeah, they can, but compared to my work, it's just kind of garbage. And so, because she is an overachiever, she's kind of taking it upon herself to do the majority of the work because she wants it to be done right. And plus, like when you're a manager or a director or something like that, and you have to take accountability and responsibility for the work that the people under you do, she's like, I'll just do it myself. But I feel her because growing up, I definitely was the person that you wanted to have a group project with, because I'm probably going to do the majority of the work. Because if I don't, I know if I do it myself, I'm going to get an A. And if your little portion causes me to get anything less than an A, I might have to punch you. So I'll just do it myself. But it's hard. It's hard being that way, especially like if you work with people who are not on your same wavelength. It's hard. So, so hard. Yeah. I'm gonna see if we push through here. This is support level. So I would have just got hit with a break even anyway. My issue right now is like when price rotates like this, I don't know how to trade that. So I've had to sit out of some pretty good trades because once it rotates, I'm still trying to work that out. I genuinely think today I'm going to journal just the trades that I took. Yesterday I journaled the whole session, well, the whole hour session or whatever. Since there was quite a few, let me see. It was like 150 reversal bars or something yesterday. So I kind of wanted to journal everything 1, 2, 3, 4, so I could just get more examples of what I'm looking for. But today I don't really feel like I need that. Damn it. That was the trade I was looking for. I think, as weird as this sounds, on the pullbacks, I've actually been preferring the deeper pullbacks. As long as the bar overlaps, which this one won't overlap now. But this is a deeper pullback than here, but we still overlap the previous bar, which means price acceptance. And pretty much when this happens, as long as it overlaps and there's only one place that point of control cannot be. So as long as it's not there, it's usually fine. Oh, reversed up instead. All right, there's no overlap there. But yeah, I just kind of realized that this morning when I was recreating the cheat sheet. But I like those a little bit better than the shallow pullbacks actually, which is weird, but yeah. Point of control is weird on that one. What the hell is here? Ouch. Something there. Problem is, I did something wrong. Oh. Oh, that sucks. So all they did was like tell you that you did it wrong and left it at that? How did you discover that you did it wrong? Somebody shorted gold or silver last night. Learn if they don't let you exactly. You shorted micro gold last night, but just for a little bit. I need to fix stuff. Why it's wrong and how to fix it. I was the same way. Like when I was, I'm gonna tell y'all what was so weird about my nursing career. Even though I was agency, like I would always be training new people. I'm like, I technically don't even work for y'all. Why would y'all choose me of all people to train? It was just so weird. But I mean, I understood it because, you know, when you're good at what you do, when you're good at explaining things and stuff. But see, I didn't like it because since I was agency, I made more money, you know, than if I worked directly through them. And so there was never, actually, I think I found out later that I could have had an incentive for when I train people. So I think like the last year when I found out, baby, train today, cause what? But yeah, like I would let them shadow me for a couple of days, kind of give them the ins and outs, give them pretty much my workflow because no matter where I worked, whether it was long-term care facilities, acute psych facility, no matter where I worked, I was very, very efficient with my time. And so, you know, I would just give people my workflow because it always looked like I wasn't doing much, but that's just because of how efficient I was. Like, I like to like do things in sections, if that makes sense. So like, I'm going to group these things together at the beginning of the shift. I'm going to pass meds. I'm going to, you know, do whatever I need to do after I pass meds. And then I'm going to group the next set of things around like midnight. And then I group the next set of things like probably about an hour before my patients wake up because I worked overnight. And it allowed me to chill a little bit. Even when for the maybe 2 weeks that I worked during day shift before, I still was very efficient with my time, but I just don't like day shift, baby. I want to come in, give meds, you go to sleep, see you in the morning. Ain't no doctors like, but you know, I think it's important that people give feedback for stuff, especially if you want things to be done the right way. Like how, like Applejack said, how am I supposed to know? How am I supposed to learn? How am I supposed to do that? You're not giving me, and I think that sometimes people it could be a misjudgment of you or previous experiences with other people where like, you know, sometimes people feel like people don't like constructive criticism and things like that. But if this is a project and it has to be done right, I don't have a choice but for you to tell me what I need to fix, what I need to do different. Like, what the hell are you, Will? I don't know. Told me I did it wrong. Gave the work to somebody else. Oh, hell no. Do they not look like you, Applejacks? And I ain't even trying to be funny. Oh, I think I. Mm, hmm, hmm, hmm. Got it. I figured. And that's the microaggressions that people don't understand that we deal with. That's a real thing. Because then you have to wonder, you probably just didn't want me to have the project to begin with, because if so, you would have gave me the same step by step ahead of time. Or like you said, like told me what I did wrong, told me step by step, first of all, so I don't do the same thing again. Um, but yeah, you probably just didn't want me on that project to begin with, basically. Because make it make sense. And the only woman? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Amelia, not you want to use another word. I listen, I feel it. Yeah, that's mm-mm. Mm-mm. 126, 130. This is so choppy. This is so frustrating. The thing is, I have a lot of examples of trades that happen inside of the zone. I'm so focused on like what to do when when we're trading outside of it that I haven't really. It's just like, okay, well, when we're trading in here, just don't worry about it right now, kind of thing. Um, but I need to figure this out because I don't like having to sit out of this because there are good moves that happen in here. It's just right now, I can't really do anything about it. It could be that maybe only a specific setup, maybe I can only do a specific setup. You know, it could be like one of those kind of things. Because right now, my thought process is either don't trade it at all or only look for buys. Like all of the setups that are valid, that are buys, take them. And then probably divergence coming back down is okay because you're in price discovery mode. And a lot of divergence is like failure by lack of interest or failure by exhaustion. So it kind of works out. Um, but yeah, if we are rejecting the downtrend, well, then we're in an uptrend. So I should be able to take the buys that make sense, you know, that fit the rules. Like, let's see. Here, look how nice this push was off of. We tried to change to a downtrend, only broke it by a few ticks, and immediately just bounced up 52 points. Even here, once we rejected, we were going up. So I'm definitely going to like really focus heavily on adjusting what I feel like needs to be adjusted going into next week. But after all of the conversion from Friday to Tuesday, my brain, like I just needed a very, very rough draft first because my brain just does not compute at the moment. And that's okay. That's okay. Years from white male managers over the years. When I realized, oh, you don't want me to do it again. Seeing through it. Go ahead and fire me. Oh, nothing makes sense. You feel me, a minority? Yeah. You know I can fire you. Ooh. Ooh. Period, Amelia. No, no says I'm very quiet and today I feel defeated. I hope you feel better. But you know, I think that sometimes, especially when we're like in our younger years, we try as minorities, especially minority women, we try to not have very much sass because we know that we're always on the chopping block anyway. So it's like, unless you have something already lined up or you got something else going, it's like, okay, I just need to get through this. Yes, it bothers me, but I kind of have no say right now. Like that's just how you feel. And I get it. Now, I always been a very outspoken person. So shit, my very first year nursing, I ain't give a fuck. I'm the best new grad you have up in here. So what you gonna do? I remember we had 3 managers in the year and 2 months, I think, that I was there. And the first one was so upset because I wouldn't go out drinking with her and everybody else. Now, mind you, she was my mom's age. What do I look like hanging out with y'all? And I was the youngest one. There was 2 other black women, but one was like an older lady. Well, at the time she was probably like in her mid 40s and I was, 21, fresh out of school. And then the other girl was probably like around 30 at the time, but she was like a pick me. So no offense to her, I loved her, but she was a pick me. And it was crazy because even though I was a new grad, I was so mature, so nobody really knew my age, but they would always brag about how I always get out on time and I'm always, I'm so time efficient. I'm able to help other people so other people can get out on time. But baby, when they found out my age, it was a wrap. Because then it turned into this little young black girl is showing us up, blah, 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 like that kind of thing. And so when that lady got fired, the next lady who came in, she was so sweet, but she was a complete pushover. And I basically told her, I was like, they're going to run you and your reputation into the ground. So then when the third lady came in, she had only worked in ICU her entire career. So you can't work in ICU where you only have 1 or 2 patients to manage ever. And then you are upset because people are getting overtime because we have 6, 7 patients a night on a stroke unit where half of your patients can't move half of their bodies. We also have palliative care units, which are basically people who are 1 step away from hospice. And usually they're just waiting on hospice to be set up. And so, you have people where you're giving morphine every 15 minutes and the palliative care units were all the way at the end of the hallway, for comfort reasons. You could be given morphine all throughout the night. I mean, just all kinds of stuff. And so I had to tell her respectfully, like, if you're trying to figure out why people can't get out of here on time, how about you take a shift or 2 and you'll learn exactly why. Especially do it during the day where doctors are coming in and out and writing orders. And there, when the doctors went into the room, if you were the nurse for that patient, you had to be in there. So that's taken away from all the time you have to do other stuff, right? And she didn't like that. And so when I decided that I was going to leave, I gave her a 2-week notice. And at the time, like, they were losing so many people. Damn, that was my trade. They were losing so many people on all the floors that, y'all, this lady had the nerve to tell me, oh, well, you can't give a 2-week notice. It has to be a 30-day notice. No, I think she told me a 60-day notice. It was either a 30 or a 60. Who has to? It wasn't unfortunately, we're so understaffed. Like, there's no way I could find another nurse in 2 weeks and train them and, all this. As she came from that aspect, I got you. But when I'm in your office and you tell me what I have to do, listen, lady, I didn't sign no contracts for shit. I don't care what the updated policies are. When I started working in this bitch, it was 2 weeks and that's what I'm giving you. So she started yapping at the mouth, baby. In the middle of her talking, I stood up and I walked out. So as I'm going to the elevator, she's yelling my name down the hallway. Keamber, get back here. Bitch, do you think you my mama? I'm so confused. I held that elevator button. I said, let me tell you something. My own mother doesn't yell at me, and you're not my mother. So I'm going to go ahead and close this elevator before I hurt your feelings because I'm off the clock. Boop. And so I was off for 3 days. And during that time, I figured out I didn't want to work there no more. I didn't even want to live in Georgia no more. I'm going back home. And so because she was so ignorant about, not accepting the 2 week notice, about 2 hours before my shift, maybe even an hour before my shift, I sent them an email. As of this moment, I no longer work for this place. Da 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 da. Please remove me from the schedule. Because if you couldn't find nobody in 2 weeks, find them in 2 hours. Good luck. Because the fuck? I bet you she learned her lesson that day, honey. Did. She sure did. And I didn't give two damns about it. People are crazy in real life. In real life. Take profit. Couldn't do it. Whatever, I can't find another job where I could start trading for real. Last night, at least I have trading. And that should be even more, honestly, Applejacks, no kidding. I feel like that should be even more of like a motivation for you to like really hone in on your trading for real. At will company so you can quit and they can fire you basically without notice. Baby, I don't know. That was the first that was the first, no, maybe it was like my second job, because I had a real estate career before I did all of that. And then when I was in school, at my first school, I was like a recruiter. And then I became a realtor while I was in nursing school, finishing my prereqs. And so Georgia was the first like non-Missouri state that I worked in. So I have no idea, honestly. I just know it was some bullshit. That's what I do know. And I know they had me fucked up. Good morning, Paul. How are you this morning? Says I worked there at will, so it didn't matter. She gonna send me to an early grave. Yeah, trust me. Trust me, I feel it. I do. You know what? I think I'm going to end it here. I'm just going to secure the green, especially because I've just been struggling. Well, not struggling, but like I went a couple of weeks with like no red days. And then having the red days that I've had for the last 2 weeks is just kind of a lot. So I think I'm just going to end it here. Let me show you guys the account stuff. When does that? Oh, I think that renews around like the 8th, I think. Somewhere around there. All right, so this is what we're looking like. Made $255 on the Apex account because that trade I broke even out of, it still had one of the contracts was still going or whatever. And then I made $135 on the other account. So I still have $920 of drawdown left in the TPT account, $2,000 on the trade of Oh, I'm basically almost back to a full balance, basically. Yeah, because I just started this account. And then the Apex account still has $1,600 in drawdown. Like I said, for me, I just wanted to secure another just secure a green day because of the struggles that I've been having recently. But now that I've reorganized everything and I've had a couple of days to like allow my brain to rest, this weekend my focus is going to be like, all right, let's just solidify everything. That way I can go into next week with a lot of confidence. I think the biggest thing right now, especially when like prices reacting off of levels and things like that, that's one of the things I need to focus on. Like I said, when prices like rotating over levels, this is all just trying to find price acceptance, and I have to figure out like, when is price going to be accepted, when is it not, is there a common pattern, things like that. Like, this one didn't work, but this one did. Why? Is there a difference between the two? That kind of thing. But I think that's going to be my focus. And then also just kind of narrowing down the setups that I want to keep and the ones that I want to get rid of. I kind of already know like the pullbacks like this, where it goes from higher high to lower low to lower high. I pretty much know that I always want this to be a shallow pullback, because if we're switching from a minor uptrend and now switching to a downtrend, what I don't want is immediate price rejection, which rejection would come in the form of this swing being much larger than the previous one, because then that's basically saying that this switch to a downtrend is not really a healthy one. So it's like little small things like that I know I do want to get rid of. And that's probably really it. But I just want to focus on those couple of things this weekend and kind of go from there. But green is green, and I'm happy about it, because those couple red days that I had were a little massive and I didn't really like them. Okay, didn't like them. YM just fell 100 points. Girl. Oh, never mind. That's NQ over there. I'm like, why do I already have YM over here? Dang. Oh yeah, I see 107 points. That's crazy. But yeah, I feel like I'm on the right track. I'm almost there. Not quite, but almost there. Couple of small things. I would say like maybe like another week and I think I'll be back where I feel comfortable and where I need to be. We'll see. Still going down. Something about a White House speaker. Oh, they have an error. All right. Well, I'm going to journal the few trades that I took. Probably keep my charts open because I want to look at a couple of things while it's actually happening. And I'm pretty much leave it at that. Y'all see the new Fed chair nominee? Honestly, I don't keep up with politics at all. New Fed chair nominee. Kevin Warsh. I just picked to replace Jerome Powell at the Fed Reserve. Whose term as chair ends in May. The role requires Senate confirmation. The announcement caps an extensive search that started in September and was spearheaded by Treasury Secretary, who whittled down a list of half a dozen candidates and presented 4 finalists to the president. Stocks open lower after Trump announces Warsh as Fed chair pick. I really don't like that man's last name. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of old country people who, instead of saying they're going to wash their clothes, they'll be like, I'm going to go wash my clothes. Like, you're going to what? See you, Brett. Yeah. Honestly, so I, I don't know. This might sound terrible, but it's like when it comes to politics, whatever they're doing, they're going to do. Not to say that like it's probably not the best thing for me to not pay attention at all, but I also feel like my grandma sits there and watches MSNBC, CNBC, BBC, CNN. Like if she's not watching sermons, she's watching that stuff. So I feel like if it's anything that's really important for me to know, she'll tell me. She'll tell me. I got you. Yeah, listen, she's an old lady to the T, all right? That's what she does all day. And then occasionally I'll hear her and my mom talking about something Trump did. I just don't keep up. And the crazy thing is, like, when I was younger, I used to love, this might sound so crazy. I used to love watching Rachel Maddow when I was younger. And then, what was the other guy's name? I think it was like Keith, was it Olbermann? Yeah, Keith Olbermann. I used to love watching them like when I was in my early 20s, I would say. But now I don't want to consume that stuff. I just feel like, first of all, I have enough that I need to use my brain for, but I also just don't want to consume some of that stuff. Like, I don't need anything unnecessary in my brain. I need my brain for important things. Sound like he's fired, but no, it's just, yeah, girl, his time is up in May. These people, yeah. But yeah, y'all, let me go because I'm really exhausted and I really want to go to sleep. So I'm going to do that. But I thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I feels that heavily. I swear. I just told my best friend, because I told y'all all three of my best friends called me this week. I still got to call two of them back. But she was like, I called you yesterday. You didn't answer. And I said, if she don't answer today, I forgot what she said after that. But I was like, look, girl. So I told her like everything that I did since Friday, just like from my brain capacity. I'm like, it was at zero. I didn't want to talk to anyone. I'm sorry. It's nothing against you. It's just, baby, I didn't have the mental capacity to even hold a conversation with anyone. Not even you. I love you. But it'd be like that sometimes. And then it's like, for me, I don't get a break. Even on the weekends, I don't get a break, because usually on the weekends is when I study the most, because I have the most time. But I'm going to try not to let it consume me too much this weekend, and just like, I'm going to write out like an action plan. Like, these are the things I really want to focus on. And that's where I'm going to put my energy. And then I'm just going to leave it at that and go from there. But yeah, see you, Applejacks. But yeah, I thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Please like the video on your way out if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't already. But other than that, I will see you guys bright and early Monday morning at 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. Enjoy the rest of your day, your weekend. Be safe, and I'll see you guys Monday. Bye. See ya, Amelia.